Can you talk about how you initially became the games manager? And the reason I ask that is Spider Loc is always adamant about saying that a story was told that he was there with 40 Glock and some other people that were pushing up on game at one point. But he says he wasn't there. But he says when you retell the story, sometimes you put him there and he gets all upset about that. So,
well, it's funny because the dude that just walked in was there too, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, we had just met 15 minutes before that. Okay. Literally. Mm-hmm. So that's not really how I became his manager though. Okay. Actually, when I left that situation, I didn't have Game's number or none of that. Okay. We had to be at the Four Seasons Hotel. The homie Briss from Westside Paru calls me. Mm-hmm. It's me, Suge, Lil Jon, and Zap. Okay. I'm just meeting Lil Jon and Zap. I get a call from Briss. Where y'all at? I tell him. He like, yo, we over here boxed in. A bunch of these G Unit West dudes or whatever got us boxed in. Mm-hmm. Who there? 40 Glock, Spider Loc, did he say Mob Deep? Whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I tell Suge. Suge at the time had a dislike for Game. Fuck him. Fuck that nigga. Mm-hmm. Suge, that's a Paru. Until Paru say he ain't Paru, we gotta respond to it as homies. I'm on my way. Mm-hmm. Get my car to valet. He hears Lil Jon and Zap hear the conversation. I just meet the homies. It ain't been 5-10 minutes. Mm-hmm. They hear what's going on. They like, shit, the homie finna go over here and address this. I guess in their head, we got to roll with the homie. I jump in my car. I think I had a Benz at the time. Like a plum burgundy 550 Benz. Shoot up Sunset. I get there. Sure enough, Gang, 4 dudes is kind of like in the valet. They on Sunset. I pull in. I get out. Now, I don't know why Spider Loc always denies this because he's the one I talk to. Because I didn't really know nobody else like that. I knew 40 Glock very on another level because I knew him through, it was this group called YA. Okay. Roscoe, Corrupt's little brother, had a group called Youth Authority. Yep. Him, another dude, there's other little youngster that was hard out of New Orleans. He ended up catching like a murder beef or some shit in the middle of it. And 40 Glock used to carry their bags. Mm-hmm. That's how I met 40 Glock. Mm-hmm. Carry their bags, right? He was carrying their bags, trying to get in the group. Right. So I'm not, I know his face, but I don't know him like that. Yeah. Spider Loc there, me and Spider Loc go back to Death Row days. Right. Spider used to catch the bus up to Death Row and he used to hustle, come in with his backpack, write his raps, and in hopes of getting a deal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Nothing against that, but that's what he was. We was two different things at Death Row. I'm already pulling up in Mercedes and Escalades, and he trying to find his way, which is cool, nothing wrong with that. Right. So I felt like I had a rapport with Spider Loc. When I pull in, I see the Suburban in the middle of the street. Maybe like 3-4 minutes after that, Suge pulls in. Mm-hmm. He's in that red Bentley. This one, the Bentley just come out. Yeah. The little 2-door hardtops. So at this time, I can imagine what's going through Game head. He know I'm run with Suge. Me and him ain't never had no personal issues though. Mm-hmm. He got these dudes on the sidewalk and now Suge pulls in. Mm-hmm. It's looking like a bad day for Game. Yeah. The time I don't think he knew that Briss called me. So when I get out, I have a conversation with Spider. And I tell Spider, what we doing? He like, G Unit West, this, that. I said, all right, well, where 50 at? Mm-hmm. His beef with 50. This is some gangbang shit. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of Crips out here. The homies is Parus and Bloods and shit. Like, this some gangbang shit. Dude, Wave from Queens. Mm-hmm. Don't nobody turn the West out. The West turn niggas out. So you telling me he got you out here like this on game? So I'm trying to understand. Right? So, Spider go to talk his talk. And we ain't being aggressive towards each other because there's no reason to be. We know each other. Mm-hmm. He ain't got no issues with me. I ain't got no issues with him. Right? Right now, today, I'm still a little curious on what his issue is with me, but whatever. Since then, he's made songs about me, like real songs. Promote me. Mm-hmm. Big up at me, right? So we come to the conclusion, all right, Wack, we're gonna let it go. But it's like that. Cool. They leave. I walk up on Game, holler at Brisk. He introduced me to Game. Game like, y'all know who you are, know your name, blase, blase. Suge stay where he at. He quit us get in his car and leave. You know, the homies is in the middle of the street in the Suburban. Did what they were supposed to did. As far as having my back with the situation. You know, we were straight. However they wanted to do it, we were straight. Right. Wasn't no losing that day. Because we got the front and the back. The drop is on us. We good. And that's the first day I met Game as far as face-to-face. And maybe about 3 months later, I started managing this artist called Stacey Adams. So Game was in studio at the time working on LAX at Encore. So we put a call in through another homie from Watts. I need to have a conversation with him, trying to get a feature done, see if he'd do it for me. Yeah. So we're like, yeah, tell him to pull up. So when I pull up, he raps about it in on Jesus Piece. When he said, let me tell you how I first met my nigga Wack. When I met him, he was with Suge. It wasn't always to the good, right? So when I came in the studio, he's in the booth. He motioned for me to come in the booth. I go in the booth, he go in his pocket, give him everything he had. I said, that ain't what I'm here for. I need a feature for my artist. At the time, I'm not realizing the artist I got is one of his security's little brother, Big Dan. And Big Dan had just left him and went to Akon, but it wasn't no bad blood or nothing, right? So he like, nah, keep that. Least I can do, and I'm gonna do the feature anyway. I tried to give it back to him, he wouldn't take it back, right? So he does the feature. He say, man, come, I'm gonna be here like another month or two, you know, keep pulling up. You know, so as I'm coming through there, I'm just watching the vibe of the room. And it's probably my first time being in that type of setting. Total different setting. Ray J's R&B. Right. You know, being at this type of magnitude of artist, his set, and watching how he works. And, you know, Game's a monster. He do 4, 5, 6 songs a night. And I met EP. These dudes over here cooking up beats while he's writing to a song. It was like an operation, being able to watch it. And through that, we exchanged information. And the same thing like 6ix9ine. You know, people started calling me, hey, man, we got some business for Game and this, that, and other. Game at the time was like managed by Jimmy Henchman. Yeah. But Game allowed me to bring business to him, but I had to oversee the business. And through that, I brought him a couple deals and this, that. And I think my big push was me and AD doing these Live Nation shows. So I was able to position Game on these shows, get him 6-figure numbers, put him on these shows. And from that, I just continued to grow and grow and grow and do other things for him. And Jimmy goes to jail. Interscope drops Game. And the mother company he signed to, which is Desperado Records, still have one more with him. And they're disgruntled with Game. Yeah. So they can really put him on the shelf. Game reaches the cash money to do something with them. I understand what's going on internally. I get on the plane to Miami and I go to New York and see Alan Grumblack. Tell Alan, if I can deliver him Game, can we do some business? He said, if the business goes through you, and you deliver him, we could definitely do some business. My contracts would be with you. Still have one problem. I know he's still signed to Desperado. Right. So I called T-Money. Okay. Same T-Money. Yeah. T-Money and Kenji is from the same neighborhood. Could you set up a meeting? Set up a meeting. We met at the Montage in Beverly Hills. Sat down with K-Dog, which is Kenji. He expressed, you know, his ill feelings and, you know, I couldn't really say nothing about it because it was things that really had nothing to do with me and I couldn't tell this man how to feel. But he was real about it. You know, he said, Wack, if you take care of me, and the business goes through you and it's your contract, I'll sign off and let the album go, but I got to get my same cut. So I was pretty much cut out of the deal because it's the only way it's going to happen. Right. So I took that lick. From that came Year the Wolf. Once we got that, put closure to that, then it was directly with me. And that's where you got Documentary 2 and 2.5.
Okay. Is that why, like, on Jesus Piece, Baby calls It says this is the last one, and then your cash money.
Yeah, all that was supposed to happen.
Gotcha.